Hello, guys, and welcome to a super special episode of Season Sunflower Hour. Look, we had so many amazing things we wanted to share with you in the month of November that one show just wasn't enough. So you get to see us here twice. So if you are tuning in already, thank you guys so much for spending your night with us. I love that. If you are brand new to the show, welcome. Welcome, and I'm so happy to have you as part of the Sunflower Hour family. I hope we see you again very soon. And speaking of that, if you are new to the show, pop into the comment section. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if this is your first time ever watching. I hope it's not your last. So thanks for being a part of the family. If you are a returning family member of this show, thanks for joining us again. I love having you here. And you know what? Let us know in the comment section where you're from and what your favorite part about Sunflower Hour is. We always love hearing how much you guys love the show because we are still here all these years later because of all of you. So thank you so much. Now, like I said, tonight was so exciting and there was so much good stuff to talk about. We wanted to have another little check-in with all of you to share some magical news. Now, look, I learn new things all the time because of this show. I get to meet some super incredible people and I get to share that with everybody. It's one of my favorite things about this. So tonight I get to share an amazing guest with everybody who's going to teach us about something new called HYROX. Now, before we get going on this, did anybody know what this is? Am I the only person that didn't understand or know what this is? Drop that in the comment section too, because yeah, I got to learn all about this. I'm super excited. So tonight we're going to take a deep dive into finding out what the heck HYROX is, what that world encompasses, and we're going to get a glimpse at what happens when passion meets purpose. What can you do when you have a love and a passion for something and you get inspired to stand up, put that to work, and make a difference? We're going to see exactly what that leads to tonight with our guest. So without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's bring him straight out here so he can tell us all these fabulous things. Let's bring out Robert Aduchi. Hey, Robert, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Season?
Oh, I am fantastic. I'm super excited. We've already got people jumping in. Hello from France. We've got someone joining from France already. Do you know who that
Wow.
is?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. The handle is, let me see. My gosh, I don't even have my glasses on. I'm an old lady today. Um, Momo Bella? Momo Belba? Huh. Well, love
I don't
it.
know. We,
Glad
we
you're
must
joining
have
us.
we must have a global audience.
That's fantastic. Ooh, we've got hello from Adrian. This is fantastic. So thank you guys so much for jumping in. I love it. Blow up that comment section and look at any point in the time as we are doing this show. If you guys have any questions for Robert, throw them in the chat. We'll bring it into the conversation if there's anything that you want to know. I love this. Keep those hellos coming, guys. It's fantastic. Now, Robert, we got a lot to talk about, my friend. I want to get into this, but first of all, I want you to give me a little rundown on what the heck. Let's start with HYROX. What is HYROX? Before we get to the passion that led you to this beautiful event coming up, let's just break it down. What's HYROX?
Sure. All right. Great question. So, what is HYROX? HYROX, it's spelled HYROX. HYROX. High is for hybrid. So there's a new thing in the fitness world called hybrid racing. So HYROX is one of the leaders in this new phase of racing, hybrid racing, and hybrid meaning it's a combination of endurance running and strength stations. So you alternate between running and strength. So before High Rocks, your choices were to do like an endurance sport, like run a marathon or do a triathlon or run a 5K or something, on one hand, and on the other, maybe you would do CrossFit or you would do some kind of Orange Theory or some kind of a intense workout. And guys like me who did both always thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was a sport that combined these two kind of different kind of fitness challenges? Running being aerobic, the strength work being more anaerobic, and combine them. And so there was a couple smart guys in Germany about 6, 7 years ago that created this new sport uh, called HYROX, and it took off in Europe, uh, and it's become really popular there. And then in the last few years, it's become really popular in the States and really all over the world. It's the fastest growing fitness sport in the world, and it's going to South America, into Asia, and really everywhere. And hopefully, like in the 5 or 10 years, it'll be like an Olympic
Yeah.
event. So it's
Oh,
it's really hot. The tickets are selling out in days. It's really caught on, this hybrid sport trend.
that's crazy. How long have you been doing this for?
So I did my first event 2 years ago.
Okay.
Um, so I've been doing endurance sports for like 30 years. Um,
Okay.
but the high rocks, I did my first one 2 years ago and got the bug, and have kind of let everything else fall to the wayside, and I've been focused
Oh,
on high rocks and on this endurance racing. It's it's kind of addicting.
okay. So you know what? I hear people say these crazy things like that, and I will tell you, I'm not someone that's very active. I started going to the gym recently. I do not have that love.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't feel that. I can't wait to get there. It is work. So I'm hoping I get to that stage that you're in where it's like, man, I'm addicted to this. I love this. I think that's awesome. What does training look like for this? What is your typical, maybe your typical training regimen before you're going to compete?
Oh yeah, yeah. Good question. So it's really kind of a lifestyle. Like it's really to do because high rocks. It is very challenging, to do well,
Mhm,
and you have to be on top of your game. So it's not just
mhm,
working out. It's nutrition, it's sleep,
mm,
it's you know hydration. It's just everything. Wellness. You have to have a lot of mental strength as well as to manage
mm,
yourself. So it's kind of an overall approach. But what so we stay, pretty much we stay in shape all year round. We never get out of shape. But the traditional approach is to do a 12-week build-up to a race. Uh, and there's a program that I belong to. Uh, the one I belong to is called RMR Training. It's an
okay,
app and it's a community that does high rock specific training because it's a newer sport. The
okay,
exercise science really hasn't caught up to it yet. They don't know quite how to optimize training for this. It's aerobic, it's anaerobic. You're going back and forth,
mhm,
and so I use the RMR um, tool, and you're doing probably two really hard workouts a week
mhm,
where you're doing like some kind of like intense running,
okay.
and then running. But the thing about the hybrid sport is you don't just run. Let's say you run for 20 minutes and then you'll go on the rower for 10 minutes and then
Ooh,
go push a sled for 10 minutes. So you have to get used to doing
okay,
the strength movements in the mix of the running. So you go back and
okay,
forth between the running and the strength. So for 12 weeks, you'll do a slow buildup of you ever
okay,
increasingly harder, running and strength. Uh, two really hard workouts a week, a couple of medium workouts, and then a couple of workouts that are easier workouts. But we call them zone two. It's your heart rate. All the training is
mhm,
based on where your heart rate is. And like a zone two training is base, like building a big base, like so you're
mm,
running nice and easy, but you're running for a long time, or you're doing the
okay,
machines for a long time, and you're building your aerobic capacity, so that you can endure, you know, and then you
very
do the
cool.
hard workouts so that you can perform at a high level.
Okay. This is probably a super silly question because all of this is totally new to me. Is this something you are training for like how we have the marathon, right? You're training for the competition, or are you consistently keeping up that training regimen all throughout the year? So you're just always ready for this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about High Rocks is they, so in the United States, they only have one event a year in each of the
Okay.
major cities. Like New York,
Ah,
LA, Dallas, Miami, Chicago.
okay.
They probably have maybe 30 events in the major cities. So this Saturday, I'm doing one in Chicago,
Hmm.
and I could peak for that and do that, and that's it. Although, but I'm a little bit crazy, so then I'm going to do one in Phoenix in February. So like as long if I get in shape, I just keep going as long as I can. So there's always another race. So a lot of people in HYROX travel to go to the next event.
Awesome. You know, some they're blowing up in the chat here. Someone's asking because you mentioned it's not just the training, right? It's the training in addition to the lifestyle and the way that you're eating, all of those things. Any tips for people on some healthy habits, possibly? Some, I mean, we don't need to go as far as like diets, but any tips on things that you have found have been really helpful, just food wise, to help you prepare and get in the best kind of shape for this?
Yeah, wow, that's like a big, big topic.
That's a big
Um,
one.
but I would start by, I think when you get serious about training, I think the first step is it's like eliminating things. So
Okay.
like eliminating all processed food. Like there's just no place for it. Eating, like a Mediterranean diet, eating a natural diet. Uh, I tend to eat probably a little heavier protein, because there's a lot
Okay.
of I still trying to maintain the mass that I have and the strength that I have. So it's probably a higher protein diet than normal, but it's like no processed food, natural. Um, you know, Really there's little to no alcohol if you want to optimize. That's kind of the game on the book on alcohol used to be, well, a little bit was okay. It used to be like
Yeah.
a little bit of alcohol was better than no alcohol, and that's all been debunked. And they say alcohol, it's a
Oh,
toxin, and if you're training for peak performance,
yeah.
there's no room for alcohol when you're training. So like that's again one of those things you
Ah,
eliminate. And
okay.
so that's what I start with. Like I don't eat any um, sugar, any processed sugar, no candy, no things like that. I read every label of every single thing I eat, and I try to get rid of anything
Yeah.
that has added sugar or unnatural sugar or gums or emulsifiers, that kind of thing. So it's clean eating, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Okay. I
Did you like?
mean, okay, there's gonna be a lot of sad people here that are watching this and saying, "Oh my gosh." Sorry, I'm letting my dog in because he is just, he wants to be a part of this. He really wants
Yeah,
to get in on what is going on here. He's
yeah.
banging on the door. There's gonna be so many sad people here that are like, "No," all the people that, "Hey, like a red wine is supposed to be great for your heart," or whatever that is.
Y-
You've just crushed a lot of dreams today, Robert.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And and it's not against the law to have a glass of red wine, but like if you really get into it and you really want to, you know, get the best out of your gifts, you know,
Yeah.
the alcohol will not serve those goals. You know,
Yeah, 100%. I get that. And it's really cool to hear from someone who's doing this, who is, and tell us about that flag, because you've got that flag. So
uh,
clearly
the
we'll
flag.
listen to the expert here. Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, that was pretty serendipitous. I got invited to do my first High Rocks event because even 2 years ago, they weren't selling out like for the Chicago High Rocks 2 years ago. Like this time, they sell out right away. And so the promoters for High Rocks, I ran into them and they gave me a free ticket, which is the only reason I really got involved because I'm a cheapskate. I got a free ticket, I'd go. So I showed up. I did the event. It was a struggle. I made it through barely to the finish. And then I found out that I came in first place in my age group, you know, only because there wasn't a lot of people in my age group. And so that was cool. And then I found out later, I didn't even that if you win your age group in a major race like Chicago, you
Yeah.
qualify for the World Championships. So then
Oh, cool.
I got invited to the World Championships. So I said, what the heck? It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So
Yeah.
so that was last year. I went to Nice, France, and representing the United States of America, and
What?
competed with the best athletes in the world in high rocks.
That is amazing. I
Yeah,
had no idea. What is like what a little nugget to drop.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
incredible.
No, it was kind of like an out of body experience. It was like the average guy's Olympics. Because you go to the High Rocks event and there are people from all over the world, and they
Yeah.
all have their country uniform on, and there's a parade before like the opening
What?
ceremony. It's very cool. Yeah.
Oh my
And that
gosh. Okay, so
and
greatest moment from that. If you could even I'm sure there's 1,000, but what are some of the highlights from that?
wow. I think the I think, the highlight was putting on my American, jersey, because
Yeah,
everybody that participated had the jersey from their country, and, we did, like, an opening ceremony. It was very cool, and we all got to hang out and, get to know each other, and, uh, it was broadcast. It was kind of a cool thing, and then competing was awesome, against the best people. It was, like I say, once in a lifetime.
yeah. Did you make any friends that you are still in touch with from that?
Yeah, 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 I made a couple. It's a very close-knit community, High
Okay,
Rocks, I'd say, in general.
very cool.
It's fastest growing fitness sport. It's, oh, but it's very challenging, so the people that get into it are kinda self-selecting into this kind of crazy niche, so you have a lot in common. We're all a
Yeah,
little bit crazy, and it's kinda like, you go through boot camp with somebody, you go through this shared,
yeah.
suffering experience, and you
Mhm.
you just immediately bond with folks. Um, and I don't know, maybe the younger folks are a little more competitive, but, like, they call us the masters, the masters group, the older guys. um, we're all very friendly, and
I
we're
love
just
it.
happy to be there, happy that our bodies are still working. So it's very it's a great community.
That's incredible. Like I said, that is what a beautiful story. So, literally, whoever asked that question about the eating habits, I mean, you're getting tips from a pro here who has made it all the way to basically the High Rocks Olympics. That is huge. That's
Yeah,
incredible. Congratulations, Robert. That's absolutely a huge and amazing opportunity. I'm so glad that you got to be a part of that. And
yeah,
thanks for representing America.
yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Huge. Well, on that, now I think that's so cool. So now that we know a little bit about what this is, because I had truly, until I talked to you, I had never even heard of this. I mean, I'm not a fitness guru, so that makes sense that I haven't heard about it, but I don't know. I've never heard anyone else around me ever talk about this. So this is really cool. I love that it is a growing sport, that it is gaining traction, that, yeah, we're talking about it. That's amazing. Now, you had a really beautiful story of how this has been your passion, obviously. And when you talk about it, you get excited. So I love seeing people's passions come to life. But you've taken this passion now and you have found a way to use it to make a difference and to help spread awareness for ALS. So how did this happen? How did HYROX and ALS awareness kind of fuse and come together for you?
yeah, yeah. That's a great question. I think I have to step back and talk about,
Yeah.
who I'm doing this in honor of, you know,
Yeah.
and so just stepping back. I have dear, dear, dear friends, Ed and Michelle Crom, and we've been friends for decades, and we're all very active, and Ed and Michelle very
Yeah.
active. Ed's an endurance athlete. Michelle's a elite level skier and tennis player, and so we shared those kind of things. And 3 years ago, Michelle got the diagnosis, of ALS, and so devastating and so shocking. Like, how could somebody in peak health, like, we were in disbelief. We didn't really accept that diagnosis, but ultimately, as time played out, sure enough, it was ALS. And uh it's been what a journey. They the Crom family, Ed and Michelle, uh, have been on this ALS journey now for 3 years.
Oh,
And what would normally be probably like the most devastating, horrible thing that could
yeah.
ever happen to somebody, right? It's just what a
Mm,
horrible way
yeah.
what horrible disease, and it's so cruel, how it destroys your body, but you know, your mind is intact, and you're
Yeah.
aware of every moment. And so what I thought initially would be like a living nightmare, they've turned it into just a beautiful, dream, a beautiful shared experience. It's the most like uh, unbelievable thing, to turn this horrendous disease on its head and
Yeah.
turn it into something beautiful. And they've created a community around themselves, a community that was there, but like kind of tangentially, and have created like support groups and connections and opportunities to serve uh,
Yeah.
that have brought us all together. And and they're right in the center, Ed and Michelle,
Yeah.
and like living every day with grace and strength and courage and calm and just love.
Mhm.
And it's just been a
Wow.
beautiful thing to witness and to partake, and so moved and so touched by that whole experience,
Yeah.
uh, that I had to do something. And so over the years, we've done a lot of fundraising, we've done events, we've done fun stuff. We're trying to, you know, um, help the ALS, Greater Chicago, and now that we have an inkling of how big the need is, and not just
Yeah.
for the the patient, but for
Yeah.
all the family and the support team, because it's a all out effort by
Yeah.
everybody involved. And so I've helped out with, we've had quite a few successful fundraisers and parties, and it's been great. But I wanted to do something that was kind of like, that I could call my own, that I could really dedicate to Michelle. And I think I initially got the idea of, how the Chicago Marathon is such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I know that ALS Greater Chicago, your organization, it's like one of your biggest fundraisers, right? And it's a huge
Yeah, when
thing.
we just had it. It just had it in October, the, Chicago Marathon.
Right.
Team ALS was right there running it strong.
And it was like $600,000 or something you made, or
Yeah.
some astronomical number. So I thought, well, I wasn't running the marathon this year, but could I do a fundraiser tied to High Rocks? It's not going to be like the Chicago Marathon, but like,
Yeah.
could I do one and do my best and raise some money for ALS Greater Chicago,
Yeah.
dedicate it to Michelle. All the proceeds go to ALS Greater Chicago, but it's like my effort. And hopefully, could it also maybe, um, be a
Yeah.
model for some people, and maybe, you
Yeah.
know, High Rocks in the United States could partner with ALS and,
Yeah.
create like another type of Chicago Marathon type of fundraising opportunity. So that was like my big goal. So I thought I would, you know, get a little bit out of my comfort zone and go very public with my event and invite people, and, raise money. I hit my goal the other
Yeah.
day. Thank you, everybody. Um, friends and family, who already have given many times, gave again,
Mm.
to
Yeah.
for my campaign. So that was the idea, because the High Rocks, when I the tying it to Michelle's and Ed and their family, this
Yeah.
endurance idea, this idea of endurance in taking on hard things. I mean, it's, doing a race is not living with ALS, but like
Right.
there is some uh, you know, similarity. And I thought, well, it's a hard effort, it's a long effort,
Yeah.
it's a worthy effort. I'm going to give it my all, not for my own glorification, but to honor Michelle and to
Mhm.
honor the strength that they've shown, you know,
Mhm.
that I can try to be strong in my own way, and do my best, and raise some money and create awareness. Hopefully we're creating some awareness today, and whether it's people want to use High Rocks as their vehicle or
Yeah.
whatever, But I just thought the two really meshed together well.
I love what you said about doing the hard things. I hear that a lot when we have Team ALS marathon runners on the show. They say the same thing. And there's something empowering about that, that what you are doing, who you are fighting for, your why, Michelle in this scenario, everything she has gone through, it is, like you said, it's so hard. And you're out there doing this endurance, doing the hard thing for the people that can't do it. those marathon runners are out there running for those that cannot run. ALS takes away all of those things. It takes away the ability to move, to use your legs, to run, to do endurance, to, get up and brush your teeth by yourself. And you and everyone out there that is helping you, you're doing it together for those people with ALS that cannot do these things anymore. I think that is just such a beautiful way to both honor Michelle and everybody who's fighting this battle.
Yeah, thank you,
So
Susan.
beautiful.
You said it better than I. You know,
Mhm.
the yeah, luckily I'm healthy. I have the gift of good health. It'd be a
Yeah.
sin not to use it, right?
Yeah.
And watching what the people with ALS go through, you know,
Yeah.
um, why am I taking my health for granted? I want this is a celebration, right? It's a celebration of the fact that I have consciousness and I have health and I could,
Yeah.
you know, uh, live this incredible life. So I don't want to miss that opportunity. And, yeah, people do think we're all little crazy marathon runners or high rocks
In the
people.
best
You
way.
know,
You're crazy in the best way.
yeah. But there is a method to the madness. I if you voluntarily choose to take on hard things,
Yeah.
the only thing that we know for sure in life is that there's going to be hard things come our way that are non-voluntary. There's
Mhm.
death and taxes and trouble, right? And
Yeah.
so when adversity eventually comes our way, I think in a sense we're practicing, like we're
Mhm.
practicing being resilient, being tough and
Yeah.
developing our inner resources. And I feel like this is a rehearsal for real life, for
Mm.
when the stuff hits the fan for me.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm practiced and I can handle it, you know. So it is kind of a means to another end. It's not just physical, it's really
Yeah.
building my emotional and mental capacities.
That's awesome. That's an incredible way to look at it too. And now that you say that, I mean, yeah, I'm sure whatever life throws your way, you're able to actually take it on and handle it. Because if you can get through this, if you can get through these types of events, if you can make it through this endurance, you can make it through, 26.2 miles, like anything is easy, right? At that point, you can take on anything.
It's easier, right? Right?
Easy, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
heck of a lot easier. Man, good for you, Robert. That's amazing. And I think it's really beautiful. I love what you said about Michelle. I hear that a lot. I think that ALS hits some of the most incredible people. And I absolutely just like send so many well wishes and prayers her way. I don't know how people can take on something this big and have such, as you said, just such grace and such hope and just such a positive attitude. I think that is incredible to hear. So seeing all of this, seeing what Michelle and her entire family went through, because as you said, it's not just those battling ALS, it affects the entire family, the entire community. So seeing what she went through, the way she's been able to take this on, the difference they've been able to make in the world of ALS, how has that maybe changed your life? What lessons have you taken from that, or just how have they inspired you? It's
Wow.
a big
I
one.
mean,
I know that's a big
yeah,
question.
you know, it is. It's so profound, this experience.
Yeah.
And you used the word grace, and I think that's probably the best the best word. The grace that Ed and Michelle demonstrate, day in and day out. And look, I know they have some really bad days, but you
Yeah.
know what? They have some really good days too. I mean,
Yeah.
they they are able to muster that, and really enjoy some of the simple pleasures that life still has.
Yeah.
Um, but the calm, the grace, the resilience, uh, they've created this support group that you think on paper, looking at it is okay, these folks are going to get together, we're going to help the
Yeah.
Crom family. Like the assistance, the benefit is going to flow from the supporters to the Crom. But in actual, and there is some of that, right? We're helping, you bring them a meal or something. But you know
Yeah.
what? What we're getting in return is like 100-fold. You know, the life lessons of, you know, this is how you
Yeah.
live. This is how you celebrate life. This is
Yeah.
how you create a legacy. you know it's adversity that reveals genius, right? It's like They're going through
Got
the
it.
toughest time in their life, and yet they're elevated, they're ascending.
Wow.
It's an incredible model. Like how would I do in their shoes? I would crumble, you
Yeah.
know? So it's like uh it's so inspiring, it's so profound, it's hard to put into words, but and
Yeah.
I get to be around it a lot, 'cause
Oh,
I choose to and I'm invited
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Um, again, that's probably something I might do is maybe I would just close up, but they've opened up,
Mm.
you know, and created, so it's not just me, but like many of their other friends that I kind of knew,
Yeah.
now we're in a support team together,
Okay.
and we're becoming like really good friends. We're really like we're helping them,
Oh,
but then we're helping each other. So there's like this cross pollinating going on.
okay.
You know, it's kind of like going to church or something. Like there's a
Oh.
spiritual, invisible thing happening with the
Mhm.
people that are involved, um, um, because we're in the presence of grace. You know, what more can you ask for?
Wow. And you even mentioned to me that she took this when that diagnosis came, because I can't even imagine hearing those words, knowing what that means. Now that we know with ALS, for those of you that don't know, right, there is no cure at this point. ALS, there's only one outcome, and we know what that's going to be. This is a fatal disease, and this will take your life. And it's about getting us across that finish line to help us get closer to finding a cure, making this a livable disease, and making the lives for those battling ALS, making them as great as we can with the time that they have left. So, getting this diagnosis, you had even mentioned that, like Ed and Michelle, it sounds like they took this head on, and she dove down into a bucket list. She started living life. I want you to tell me a little bit about that. What are some of the things that she was able to get out there and do with this new journey she was on?
Yeah. And I think just to clarify, I think when she got the diagnosis, I think like I was in disbelief, but
Mm.
they weren't. I mean, like you know,
Well,
they and they adapted quickly. And so yeah, so Michelle made a bucket list and uh, a lot of travel. And so luckily for that first year or two, she was still, mobile and she was able to travel. I mean, she was doing a major trip, probably a month, and went, all over the world. And she wanted to hit all 50 states, and she was missing like 12 of them. So you had to go to Vermont and the Maine, and then they did a huge family trip up to Alaska, uh,
oh,
like on a boat, and it was awesome. And so they were really, uh, you know,
mm,
having a lot of fun
yeah,
and really living an accelerated life. It was really really fun to be around, and uh, but
mm,
ultimately the mobility, you know, went away, and so like, but I think she feels pretty good about what she got done, while she
yeah,
could, and it
love
was so fun, and she did it with gusto and with a smile on her face. I have never seen her play like the victim card or feel I've never
yeah,
seen her feel sorry for herself or why
wow,
me or that kind of thing,
yeah,
uh, to this day, So like, uh, I just think it's what an example,
yeah.
what an inspirational example.
Truly. So let's give a big shout out to both of them, to Ed and Michelle Cram, for um, we're sending you our love. We're sending you so many well wishes. And I haven't gotten to meet you, but you both sound like incredible people. And Michelle, seriously, what an inspiration. I love that Robert gets to be here today to tell us about you, to share your story. And we'll keep that fight going for you too. We'll keep spreading that awareness. So we're sending all of our love to both of you guys, to the Crom family. That's so cool. That's so amazing. And Robert, did that change maybe how you and I were kind of talking about this on the phone. Did that change your outlook on life a little bit? Do you find yourself living a little bit more like pushing life to the fullest, like doing any of those things, creating your own bucket list because you were so inspired by how Michelle has just taken on her life?
Yes, I would say so. I've been a bucket list kind of guy. Um, but I probably got a little stagnant the last few years, and I said, "Okay, I'm going for it." So, uh, following their lead, and life is short. uh, as we all know.
Yeah.
And, like you said, with ALS, we know what the outcome's going to be,
Yeah.
but all of us know what the outcome's going to be. You know,
Yeah.
it's going to happen for all of us.
Mhm.
So, you know, uh, especially while I have my mobility and my health, I want to
Yeah.
really take a big bite out of the apple. I want to live a bold, um, and meaningful life. And I want to, but it's not just having hedonic experiences, which is great, but I think it's serving the world, right? I mean, that's what it's all
Yeah.
about. It's like, um, doing something that helps others, like the Croms are helping us by modeling, you know, how we should live, right?
Yeah.
So, I want to do the kind of the same thing. What can I do to help, my community?
I love that. And what you sorry, I keep looking over because the comments are blowing up. It looks like your kids are here. I don't know if you saw that, but they were giving you shout outs saying, "Hey, dad," and letting you know that they're so, so proud of you. And then someone else jumped in, "Keep it up, guys. Good night." They're going to bed, but they're hoping that the guidance reaches others in the world. So I love that. We are trying. And like you said, using your time for good. And that's exactly what you are doing. And that is what you will be doing this weekend. So I know you kind of told us, but give us this plug. What is happening on Saturday? Uh, Tell us one more time how you are using your passion for Michelle this weekend.
Right. All right. So I explained the sport of high rocks. The
Yeah.
event, they have an annual event in Chicago. It's taking place this weekend at Navy Pier. It's a very cool venue. They take the festival hall at Navy Pier and they turn it into a sporting arena for the week. So so you go to Navy Pier and it's inside and it's a
Yeah.
really cool venue. And they got the music blaring, they got the bass going, and they got video boards. All these people with their tattoos and muscles flying around the track. It's a kind of a cool environment. And so they have races Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Um, Different kinds of races. My race is Saturday at 2 o'clock, and we race. Uh, and I'll be. Uh, there'll be like hundreds of us out there. We run around the track, for a kilometer, and then
Okay.
go to the inside and do station number one. You know, uh, which maybe it's like you push a sled or something, and then you run around the track, and then you do
No
station
big
number
deal.
two.
Just push a sled.
So
Easy, right? Just
so
totally
so so
easy.
you do that 8 times. You do 8 runs and 8 stations, and then you're finally done. So that's going to be Saturday, and uh, I dedicated it to Michelle.
I love that. I'm trying to look up right now so I can throw it up in the chat for everybody. The link for um in case anybody wants to donate. Can you still take donations to help go towards this? Is that still
Yes.
possible?
Yeah, 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 but my fundraiser is still up and active. Um, it's on your ALS, webs the do it yourself fundraiser.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am So I'm trying to email the my goodness, you like my world just rocks when we don't have Sam here. I don't know what I'm doing with life when I don't have her behind. She's normally behind the scenes, like she would have already had that link up in the comment section. She's all
Yeah.
over this stuff. I have definitely, I'm no Sam. I haven't lived up to her, so I'm trying to email it to myself. But if you guys do want more information on that, reach out to us. Please check the website. It is up there for you can find us at ALS United Chicago org. You can find us there, or you guys can always shoot me an email. My email is super easy. It's just my name, season at alsunitedchicago.org. And we will personally send you all that information if you do want to donate. His page is still live. You can still donate up until, is it just up until Saturday, or can they still donate to that page after Saturday?
Yeah, even after Saturday, it'll be up for a couple weeks.
Love it.
Um,
Love it. Let
I
me
I
look
wanna say
here.
one I wanna give one plug to your organization, if I
Yes,
may,
please. Absolutely.
because, when so I decided to do something, to honor Michelle, but to benefit, ALS. And I know there's a lot of organizations, ALS related organizations out there. Well, there's, you know, and so, I did my research And, I looked up all the tax returns of the major ALS organizations and looked at the salary structures and the overhead and, Trustpilot and have gives very detailed
Mm.
assessments. And so I'm very comfortable with like kind of doing philanthropic screening. And
Yeah.
so I did all that, and was kind of ranking all the various ALS, and I'm sure they're all well-intentioned organizations, but from my research, and of course, most importantly, talking to Michelle, saying, Michelle, she's come in contact with a lot of organizations. Which one really had the most impact on you and your community? And it was ALS Greater Chicago was the one that was
Wow.
the best fiscal decision and the best, best fiscally managed, the best, I think, in terms of what Michelle, had said,
Yeah.
had the most impact, really visceral impact on her life.
Yeah.
Um, and
Wow.
and I also thought, I got to speak to Kendra, at the Chicago office, and I thought that they had the most marketing moxie that they might be able to
Oh.
take my effort and do something with it, actually maybe leverage it a little bit,
Yeah.
hopefully. So, uh, so that's why I chose ALS Greater Chicago.
Wow. Thank you. I did not even, if I'm being serious, I did not even know we had trust pilots.
Uh,
Who knew? I didn't know we were out there in the world like that, but I think that is so cool, and I cannot seriously, I cannot thank you enough for, um, doing this for all no matter who you're doing it for. I cannot thank you enough for spreading awareness and spreading Michelle's story, but then the fact that you are willing to do all of that work and energy, put your passion into motion, and do all of that to help out our organization with ALS United Greater Chicago. That money is going so far and it's going to help so many people. Again, if you are new to the show, if you don't know this, this is one of my favorite things to get to say, that anybody that comes to us, anyone that comes and takes advantage of any of these services that we provide, and that list is very long, from different support groups, from clinics, to helping you get any kind of equipment that you need, to helping with all of the things you need, all of those services completely free of charge. No patient comes to us and pays a single cent. And the only way that we can do that is because of amazing people like you, Robert, or anyone watching that donates. You guys are really, truly making an absolutely different, a huge impact and a huge difference in the lives of those battling ALS. And I cannot tell you what it means to them. I know, Robert, you've got to see it firsthand with Michelle. We've had plenty of guests on the show that say this was all the difference to them because they were able to take all of that pressure off of their shoulders. They were able to not have to think 20 steps ahead because we can do that for you. We can help you. You have a care service coordinator that tells you what's coming in this journey, helps you get the equipment before you need it, helps you make those decisions and point you in the right direction. When you take all of that burden off of your shoulders, you are able to truly spend time and spend your moments doing the things you love most with the people that you love most. We try to take as much of that burden off your plate. So I can't even thank you enough, Robert, because your money it's helping so many people.
well, it's my privilege to do so. Well,
I love it. See, crazy in the best way. Crazy in the absolute best way. I am so excited. So that event is happening this Saturday on the 15th. Saturday
the
the 15th.
15th, yeah.
What day or month we're in anymore. Okay. So on the 15th, so people can still donate. I will absolutely, I was throwing it out there to your kids to see if your kids were paying attention, if they have the link to that, if they wanted to throw that up, but they stopped listening to me. Your kids disappeared. They stopped listening to me, but we will get you that link. I promise we will put it up in the comment section when this, as the video is still there in its little home on YouTube. So check that out. And again, head over to our website, alsunitedchicago.org, if you want to find out more information. And if you want to find out how you can donate to Robert's event this Saturday and beyond to help him out. Now, you said you hit your goal. Where are you at so far? What have you been able to raise so far?
Yeah, I had a goal of 10,000, and I think I'm right about 11,000 right now.
Woo!
Yeah,
That is huge.
yeah.
Congratulations. That is so exciting. So let's help him. He's at 11. Let's try to get him to 12 and 13. I mean, shoot, the event's on the 15th. So why don't we just shoot for 15? Let's
Yes,
just
go
go for it,
for it.
guys. Let's
Let's go.
help
Yeah.
him get there. That is so amazing. And oh, you guys, thank you for being so active. I love seeing all of these comments. I love all the support that is coming in for this, for your event. Robert, are you ready? Are you ready for Saturday?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Fantastic. Well, I would love to have you back on our show next week because I want to hear how this event goes. I want to see how, oh, someone put the link up. That is incredible. I love it. You guys check the comment section
Awesome.
for
We
that
have a
link
good
then.
tech person listening. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's one of your beautiful children. How many children
Okay.
do you have? And you should give a shout out. I saw two of them chime in.
Oh, so I have three beautiful daughters. I think one of them's working right now. So
Okay.
uh, the two that aren't working are online. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So shout out to your three beautiful girls. Thank you for being the amazing tech behind the scenes and getting that link up. I love it and I appreciate it. Looks like I really need to put my glasses on. Alexa? Is it Alexa? I don't
Alexa.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
Alexa, girl, thank you very much. Thank you for carrying Sam's torch tonight. I appreciate you. You guys have an incredible father. So thank you for sharing him with us. And Robert, I mean it. Seriously, thank you for everything you are doing. I think this is so cool. Not only did we learn something new tonight, now everybody go look up HYROX and see how you can get involved. And if you want to join Robert, I'm pretty sure his door is always open, right? If anybody wants to come and train with you or maybe join you at an event, they should reach out to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to show them the way.
I love it. So you guys keep an eye out for this. If you want to donate, make sure you check out that link in the comment section so that you can help. Let's get Robert to an even bigger goal. We've surpassed 10. Let's get him to 15. Let's see if we can make that happen by Saturday. And we will see you, Robert, next week because I want to hear all about how this event went. And I'm excited to see maybe another flag. So if you win this one, do you get another flag to add to that wall behind you?
Yeah, yeah. If you come in first, second, or third, you get a flag.
Okay, so I'm expecting to see no pressure, no pressure, but
No
I am a
pressure.
little bit expecting to
I
see
better have another
another
flag
flag,
next week. Yeah. Right.
another flag behind you, and I cannot wait to hear all about this. Are Ed and Michelle going to be able to be around to cheer you on for this event?
Ed's coming, but Michelle couldn't make it. The logistics were just too tough. Um,
Okay,
um,
yeah, I get it. It's a lot. You know, ALS takes a lot from you, so I
yeah,
love that
but
you're gonna
she'll
be
be
out
there.
there doing it
She'll
for
be
her.
there in spirit. Yeah.
100%, 100%. So thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing. I cannot wait to see you next week. Good luck. Go get that number one flag.
Thanks, season.
You're welcome. We'll see you next week, Robert.
All right, all right, all right. Take.
Oh, you guys, how awesome is Robert? And I think how cool is it, like he said, right? Let's do the hard things. Let's do the hard things in life, just in general, but definitely let's do the hard things for those that can, for all of those that are battling ALS with such grace, just like Michelle. Let's do the hard things for them. Let's go out there. Let's make a difference. Let's spread the word. And if you want to get involved, please check out alsunitedchicago.org. We would love to welcome you into this family. Your challenge right now is go do the hard things. And I will see all of you next week, November 18th, for our next live episode. Come back in case you want to hear how things went with Robert so he can fill us in all about that race and give you some more information. So I will see all of you then. And until then, everybody, be bright and shine your light. I'll see you next time.